Hey guys, this is Dennis Oakley, and today I'm going to be talking about the Audible business model, and I'm going to be using the business model canvas to describe it. Let me just see if I can get this a little bit more. Okay, there we go. So this is the Audible business model canvas. Audible is a company, it's owned by Amazon, as we can see right at the top, and it sells audiobooks, or it gives people access to audiobooks. So we'll go through the business model canvas, start with customer segments, move on to value propositions, then cover customer relationships, channels, how it makes its money, what resources it needs, the key activities that it undertakes, who its key partners are, and where it spends money. And in about 10, maybe 15 minutes, we'll get a very clear idea of how the Audible business model works and why it's so effective at doing what it does. So let's start off with customer segments. So customer segments, the key segment is millennials. I mean, when you look at the Audible demographics, I mean, it's very regularly split across all age groups. But I think the thing that stood out to me when I looked at those was something like 48% of all Audible users are under 35. An audiobook is easy to consume on the way to work. You haven't got to be sitting reading a book. You can be doing it as you're multitasking on the tube in London, whether you're driving a car, on a bicycle, walking to the shops, or even just pootling around the house tidying up. So that makes it incredibly easy to consume, and it's one of the reasons why audiobooks are one of the fastest growing digital products. I mean, in 2018, I think it was 2.5 billion, which was up 16% from the year before. So it's a very fast growing, very dynamic market, basically driven by the content that people want to consume. On the other side of the marketplace, you've got a lot of authors and publishers. They're seeing that whilst traditional books are becoming more popular, given the growing population, people are consuming more of them. They're also seeing this huge new market of people wanting to listen to books, and we also see that in the podcasting market as well. So you've got these authors and publishers wanting to take an existing book, turn it into an audiobook, and as production costs for audio have come down, that's made it possible to really expand the market and put a lot more books onto audiobooks into the marketplace. So the value proposition, it's very much Audible provides one place to go for easy access to audiobooks, and for the authors it's cash. That's why they're doing it, because it gives them a really nice distribution channel. One thing that I think is worth saying here is, because Audible is the largest marketplace, it's very easy to get on there. So and there are so many books, so more people come. So it does really experience the network effects of being the biggest market of its type in the world of that. So people do come on a regular basis to it. Okay, so how does it make its money? Looking down here at the bottom, the revenue streams. Audible makes its money mainly from a monthly subscription. You're paying $8 for a book a month, or $16 for 2 books a month. Or if you want to just purchase a book one-off, I think it's often 16 to 20 US dollars. So the pricing is there deliberately to get you to subscribe, so that you then sort of keep on, and then that gives a really nice continuous cash flow. So this does mean that Audible has to make agreements with book publishers, how to split the revenue, what share that they get for each book that's sold out of a subscription, and that's fairly closely held by Amazon, I believe. So that's the way that the monetization works. The channels, how do people come to Audible? Like most things, and I cannot stress this enough, there is so much word of mouth. I've told my mum, I've told my wife, I've told lots of friends about Audible. This is how I consume my content. And they go, oh, that's interesting, I'd like to try that. And then they sign up. So that's really important. It doesn't really appear in the figures a lot. The other really big one is Amazon, because Audible is part of Amazon. So when you're looking for a book on a subject and they say, would you like to buy the Audible book or a link through? And that makes it very easy to have the written book and the audio book, and it's sort of continually leveraging off the size, the number of users that Amazon has to increase the sales at Audible, and to a lesser extent in reverse. Another major channel is the Authorial Promotion. Basically, one of the facts of book publishing is if the author doesn't get off his arse and push the book, the sales aren't that good, because by and large, publishing houses do not have the resources to push lots of books. If something is becoming a bestseller, they will then put their resources behind it, but until that happens, they're not going to lift a finger. So it's very much the authors building large groups of followers. For example, James Clear, who was reading on the power of habits. What is it? Paul Jarvis on the Company of One. Both have got audiences of hundreds of thousands of followers, which they then promote. Send a book out, and then they promote the audio book, which then brings lots of people onto the Amazon website, and some of those will then sort of do it as an affiliate, so that they get paid once for selling the book by Amazon, and then once by Amazon as an affiliate for bringing a new customer onto the platform. Which is quite good. And then, of course, there is also the PR. Every time a publisher publishes a book or somebody does a review, and they'll say, and it's available on audiobook on Amazon and audiobook on Audible. So there is that continual PR as people promoting the books. They're also promoting the platform where it can be found on. So that's very much the front end of the Audible business model. At the back end, what are we looking at? So some of the key resources, the marketplace, the size of the marketplace, just the number of books on it, it just makes it very, very powerful. It gives it a real network effect, because if there's a book that you can find on it, the more books there are, the more people come in, the more books that are brought in. So it's that traditional self-sustaining, very large marketplace. And so Amazon really doesn't care about the content that's on there so much as that there is lots, and the content is good quality. And it's interesting that one of the largest publishers of books are the largest publishers such as Penguin, Hachette, Random House, etc., etc. The other key resource are the links to Amazon, both in its engineering department to basically, because remember, Amazon is a very, very cost-driven company, so it's driving down the engineering costs, the platform maintenance costs, how to deliver it as quickly and as cheaply as possible, and also leveraging off the size of the Amazon brand and the number of users. Apparently, a third of American consumers listen to an audio book each year, and probably nowadays the vast majority of them are listening on Audible rather than listening to CDs as they were doing 15 or 20 years ago. So the key activities for the platform, again, it's the platform optimization, making sure that everything works smoothly, making sure that customers are incredibly satisfied. And I mean, one of the things that Amazon does is if you don't like an audio book, you can return it. I listened to a book for about 5 minutes, thought this is absolutely terrible, forgot to return it for about 4 years, and then went back to them and said, hey, Amazon, Audible, can I have a different book? And they said, sure. Actually, they didn't say sure. There was just an automated process where I was able to do that without any involvement. And it was just so super easy. And automatically, the book disappeared from my Audible account. Absolutely awesome. How they manage the accounting to do that, I'm not quite sure. But that's for cleverer the guys than me in the background. But I don't need to know how it works. I just know that it does work, and it just takes more friction out of the platform for the average user. It's just making it easy. So then there's also the user acquisition. The key user acquisition is listen to your first book for free. Bang. Yeah, so instead of paying $25 for a book that you want to listen, Amazon is saying, okay, we'll give it to, Audible's saying we'll give it to you for free. And then we reckon if you like listening to one audio book, you're going to listen to another one. And because we give the monthly subscription and it's so low cost, because we've got the economies of scale, you'll sign up as a subscription and it's a no-brainer. Bang! And then we've got your $8 a month revenue stream for life. And then so they're paying effectively, say, $24 customer acquisition cost to acquire a subscriber, and then they are making what's 12 times 8, $96 a year. I've been using Audible for 15 years. So obviously the CAC to LTV ratio is really, really good. And that is why a platform like Audible is so incredibly profitable, because they're recovering the acquisition costs in 3 months. And that's absolutely brilliant. Where are we? So we talked about user acquisition. The key partners, obviously, the book publishers. Yeah, they're going to be shoveling all the books onto the system. I'm sure that they don't particularly like Audible in many ways, because it is a very dominant platform. If you've got one seller in the marketplace, or one platform, that gives a lot of purchasing power to Audible, and I'm sure Audible uses that to decrease the margin that the book publishers get and increase its own margins. I mean, Amazon is notorious for that, and that's what any marketplace can do when it gets this kind of power. And that is why Amazon and Audible had such high valuations put up on them by the markets, because they could see, okay, if you own the market, you're it's not a monopoly, monopsony provider of goods. Something. If I've got that wrong, do correct me in the comments. And I need to check up on my economic sort of terms. And so finally, the cost structure, the royalty to the book publishers, paying the authors for and the performers who are performing the books for the work that they've done, and the platform costs. Now, because Amazon's got Audible's got the scale, I think that the marketing costs are very much lower, and as I said, a lot of it is done through the affiliate relationships with people putting on a website, this is a great book, you ought to go read it. You click the link, Amazon gets a new customer, they get 1 or 2 months or whatever the affiliate deal is from the customer, depending on the volume. So that is the Audible business model canvas. I hope you found it useful. Please do jump into the comments, ask me any questions, tell me what I've got wrong. I always do get something wrong. Yeah, shout that out. I usually try and reply in about 8 to 12 hours to any comments. If you've got any questions about business models in general or startups, send me an email, dennis@dennis-oakley.com, and do press like and share it if you found it useful, and let me know what other business models you'd like me to cover. Thanks for listening. Have an absolutely awesome day.